for you in this video, Burn to Shine by Ben Harper. If you haven't played a lot of blues or blues rock stuff, this is a great song for introducing kind of shuffle style patterns, pentatonic scales in a couple areas of the neck, and we've got a couple triad shapes that we'll see in the chorus, and also a cool little effect that we get from kind of wiggling, bending the string. So let's jump right in section by section. The very beginning, we hear that kind of bending on string 6 fret 3. I'm just using my middle finger here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of wiggle this down and up, and kind of let the tension bring my finger back up. But I'm doing it rapidly so I get that sound, and then I'm going to continuously pick that as I'm kind of moving it, shifting it down and up on the neck. And that's where that sound is coming from. All right, so you're just doing that repeatedly. And the bend it's not, you don't have to yank on it excessively, just a little bend. And we get that slight distorted note. Cool little effect. All right, so the riffs in the intro are kind of hanging out in A major pentatonic, box 1 if you will, and A minor pentatonic, box 1, where we're kind of right, but really just using a couple strings and mostly 2 or 3 frets. So over here we're in second position on string 5 fret 2, string 5 fret 4, and that's fingers 1 and 3 that I'm using, and string 4 fret 2, and string 4 fret 4, fingers 1 and 3. Same thing over here in fifth position, string 5 fret 5, finger 1, string 5 fret 7, finger 3, string 4 fret 5, finger 1, string 4 fret 7, finger 3. Always nice to do little things like that just to get your kind of your mind's eye working and going, okay, this is the general area where I'm going to be, because it helps to kind of plan these things out as you're learning them, and of course to connect it, at tempo when you're playing the actual tune. So it starts out on string 4 fret 2. So I'm just going to kind of go idea by idea here. We're basically going to be in second position, then in fifth position, then in second position again, then in fifth position again. So first part is right, there's 3 frets there with a little bend. So string 4 fret 2, string 4 fret 2 again, string 5 fret 4, and then repeat that back and forth. And you can see I'm holding finger 1 there. Now I'm going to take finger 3, 2, string 4 fret 4, and I'm going to do a bend. I'm actually bending the string down. Of course, the pitch is going up. Now we're going to bend it up actually, because we need to do a pull off. So bend the string up and then pull off with that ring finger. So finger 1 is kind of locked in position there for a little bit. Bend, let it fall, and then pull off. And then back to string 5 fret 4, string 4 fret 2. All that together. Okay, now I'm going to take this ring finger and slide up to string 5 fret 7, and this is going to be our next little idea here in fifth position, which is going to be very similar. So that will slide into 7, and then string 4 fret 5, back to string 5 fret 7, 5 on 4, 7 on 4, and then bend, and you can do a pull off there too. where you can pick it. So if the pull-off feels a little difficult, you can pick it, no big deal. It's just less work for the right hand if you can do the pull-off, and it always helps us to connect that stuff. We'll do a pull-off just for consistency's sake with the other lick. So altogether that is. So let's put those two together. Okay, now next idea, we're going back into second position. And I'm going to stop calling out the string numbers and fret numbers because you should be getting used to the sound by now. It's probably more distracting when I'm calling out those string numbers and fret numbers. You can just watch my hand because we talked about the notes that we're playing, and it's always good to use your ear. So the one little change there is I went back to string 5, fret 2, slid into 4. Right? You could do a hammer there. I'm pretty sure I hear him sliding. Okay, so slowly into the third idea. Very similar to the first idea, we're in second position. One more time, then I'm going to slide up to this last riff here. So getting into fifth position for the last idea, the exact same way, and it's going to go up to string 4. So another little bend and pull off, but a little variation there where we're holding the bend. All right, so I have it bent, a half step. Oops, sorry. Okay, so that last one again is. Connecting 3 and 4. Okay, I'm going to go through the whole thing at that pace, a couple tempos just to give you guys a little variation in speed to play it at. So the whole intro minus that part, okay? Okay, now a little bit faster. So all fingers 1 and 3, that's a very common fingering for the guitar, especially with pentatonic stuff. So nice little introduction to pentatonic boxes if you haven't played around with that before. Fun little intro, you know, jumps right into kind of a solo and then jumps into the rest of the song. There is a secondary solo, or the main solo of the song, which is a slide guitar, which you could do without a slide, and I've taught it that way before. We're not getting into that in this lesson, though. All right, so as I mentioned, very blues rock oriented here. We're using these shuffle type patterns, but without a shuffle feel, with a rock feel, right? Straight eighth notes. So if that doesn't make any sense to you, basically what we're doing is using fingers 1 and 3 again. The shuffle patterns basically are going to have an open string and a fretted string. So I'll demonstrate that with our E power chord here. String 6 open, and then I'm going to have finger 1 on string 5 fret 2, and string 3 is going to be landing on string 5 fret 4. So it's something like, right, that sound that we're all used to hearing, but it's rock feel, so straight eights. And there's going to be little variations in as far as when we put our finger down and when we lift it up. Okay, so this is going to be the first section. The verse section, sorry, starts off with this E rock style shuffle. So that's holding finger 1 on string 5 fret 2, and I'm just going to call out those fret numbers on string 5, but I'm hitting 2 strings over here, string 6 and 5. 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2. That's what we're doing for the E chord there. Okay, then we're going to jump to a G chord. This is a little less, I guess, you know, less orthodox, if you will. But on a G chord, so I'm going to have string 6 fret 3 with finger 2, string 5 fret 2 with my index finger here, and then my ring finger is going to be jumping underneath there on string 5 fret 3, so we get that same kind of thing happening with the G chord. So we're trying to hear 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, but with that G bass note. So those two things together would sound like this. So that riff that we were playing with the E chord changes a little bit with the G. It's just kind of letting that fret 3 hang out a little bit longer instead of bouncing back and forth. And then we're going to jump to our D rock shuffle here, which is going to be string 4 open, and then finger 1 on string 3 fret 2, and finger 3 is going to be grabbing string 3 fret 4 as we move back and forth. So the pattern for the D is 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. And that's basically it for the verse. It's just going to be looping over and over. All right, so let's go through that slowly and then we'll speed it up. Faster. So you might start hearing little variations in here. What I'm going to start doing is anticipating the next chord, and it's always going to be more important that you land on the next chord rather than playing every last little strum that might be written on the sheet music or what have you. You maintain the momentum just with that right hand, and that left hand's going to get in position and just keep those transitions happening in a groovy manner. and nothing sounds disrupted, right? If we're struggling to get there and waiting until the absolute last moment, then that's when things start to sound a little off. All right, so do that a little bit faster. That was an anticipation. So that's really it. Just 3 little kind of rock shuffle back and forth. You're going to play that 4 times for the verse, and then we're going to go straight into the chorus. This is where we get these little triad shapes here. So this is an A chord right here on string 4 fret 7 with finger 3, string 3 fret 6 with finger 2, and string 2 fret 5 with finger 1. This is what we would call a 1-3-5 or root position triad. Great shape to know, and then we're going to move that down 2 frets to frets 5, 4, and 3. Same string, same fingering. So slide into your 7th fret on string 4, position fingers 1 and 2, and you're going to strum that triad, and then the pinky is going to be grabbing string 3 fret 7, so we get a little bit of movement in there. Just like we're doing over here. Alright, just kind of create a little riff out of it. So there again, the pinky is bouncing on and off of string 3 fret 7. Or do it with the slide. Same thing on our G chord here, G triad. You can leave the slide out initially, so things like that can throw people off. So don't worry too much about that. But it's a cool little sound effect once you're feeling comfortable. And then D, shuffling back and forth. Twice, and then we get to this little riff on an A5 chord. We're going to slide from string 5 fret 3 to string 5 fret 2, and then pluck the open string, getting into an A5 chord like that. So you could do 2-1 pull off like that, and then slide that index finger down. I think it feels a little easier to just use the middle finger and then grab the A5 chord with finger 1, which is string 5 open, string 4 fret 2, string 3 fret 2. So, a couple times we're doing with a little bit more active strumming, and then there's kind of a stop time there. All right, so. And then we get back to that little. And then it's going to start all over again. So, all the way through the chorus, a few different speeds here. closer to tempo. That is it, guys. Lots of fun stuff to play in there. Great song to play along with. You're always doing something. It's got a lot of momentum in it. Got a good rock tempo. You got the pentatonic scale stuff. You've got bending with pull-offs, kind of repeated bending notes, triads, sliding into different positions, these little shuffle style patterns, pull-offs and slides and all kinds of stuff. So great song to learn from, but all of that stuff kind of stays in the same wheelhouse. So take it step by step. My recommendation would be to learn the intro last, even though we did it first. Of course, you can navigate through the video because the intro is only going to come around at the beginning and never going to come back again, whereas the verse and the chorus, you can learn that stuff and be playing with the majority of the song. And if this does feel like a little bit of a challenge, I do recommend getting a little bit of alternate picking happening in the intro. But other than that, for the most part, it's a lot of down picking / strumming as we would expect with these shuffle style riffs. If you're one of these folks that has a little bit of trouble figuring out how to strum through just 2 strings, keep your motions very small and very relaxed. Typically, it's going to have to do with squeezing that pick too hard. If you're squeezing it too hard, you're going to get a real aggressive sound. And it's just not going to feel like you're able to move as freely. All right, so you got to let that pick kind of wiggle in your fingers a little bit. Don't squeeze it too tight. And then you can also turn the tip up slightly, and that'll help you just kind of brush through those strings and not get too aggressive of a grab with the pick. And also experiment with the pick that you're using, the material, the thickness. There's lots of options out there, so it's always good to experiment with that stuff. Alrighty, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.